Hi, it's Shane here again, and Oaktree has taken off. We're all heading to Reggio Emilia in Italy here. So if you would like and share our new Facebook page, which is Reggio Emilia Approach, and it's on the page itself. And there's your phone. So it's myself and 11 other wonderful people heading off to Italy, and if you want to follow us on our adventures, just connect up to the page, and if you know anyone that has an interest in childcare, tag them in the post, and just follow us over the next couple of days. It should be a great adventure. Hi, anyone interested in childcare should follow our Reggio Emilia Approach. This is a group of 12 people from Northern Ireland, and we're all together. We're going to fly into Milan now, and we're going to head over to Reggio Emilia, and we're going to spend a week there, and this vlog is just going to follow throughout the whole day. So if you know anyone that's interested in childcare, tag them in this here, and if you're watching this in rebroadcast, just comment where you're from, and we'll also be uploading later on when we're going live. So just introduce yourselves. I'm Shane, and I'm from Oaktree Nurseries, and I just pass you around. We're in the airport here, so I have to be careful. So
hi, I'm Catherine from Clammer Valley Sure Start.
And
hello, I'm Ashling from Sure Start South Armagh. Kind of half tired, as you can tell.
Yes, we're all a lot of excitement, but a lot of tiredness too.
Hi, I'm Yvonne. I'm from Rainbow Sure Start in Castlear.
This is one of the bosses here.
Hi, I'm Zoe. I'm from the Early Years Organisation, and if you'd like to join us next year, get in contact.
That's a great point. In Northern Ireland, anyone childcare in Northern Ireland should link into the Early Years. A fantastic group, and there's lots of help in all sorts of areas. And we also have...
Hi, I'm Donna from Rainbow Sure Start as well.
So that's some of us. There's some over. I can't really go over. It's they're lining up to queue up, but we'll link in with the rest later on. But anyone, if you know anyone interested in childcare, follow the blog. It's Reggio Emilia Approach, and tag them. Would any of you like to? We've got two more has just arrived. Do you want to say where you're from, your name, and just where you're from?
Oh, it's too close. Hi everyone, I'm Eileen McLean. I'm from Banbridge, and I work for Early Years Organisation as an early years specialist, and I'm really looking forward to our trip away to Reggio and finding out all the new things and seeing what everyone else sees. Brilliant,
a lot of excitement. Where's Amy? Look, Amy is one of the few. Amy's a friend of mine. Amy is from, like myself, she's from another nursery, and she's from Sleepy Hollow Group in Crumlin as well. So as we go, we'll keep adding the other people. But if you want to follow us, we're going to go through Reggio Emilia and look at all the different facilities. So it's great for anyone that hasn't been there. It should be a great... We're back on here, and anyone interested in childcare, or if you know anyone interested in childcare, is going to be really interested in following us over the next couple of days. We've travelled from Belfast, left at 1 o'clock this morning, and we've now arrived at the Malaguzzi International Centre here in Reggio. And we've just arrived, and as you can see, it's a fantastic building. I'm just looking at this right here. So you've got like an old style there, and you can see where the new architecture comes in. And we have all been given these bookings here, and you can see that people have come from all over the world, and we've done a registration, and we are going to get a talk reasonably soon. and then we're going to have a walk around the city itself. And tomorrow everyone's given one of these here, so we get split up depending on which one you're allocated, because there's actually so many centres that you can go and look at. We have to be restricted to just a couple. So they have a really schedule here. So on Monday, this will be tomorrow. This is our schedule, and each person has one of these here, and as you can see, it allocates you one of these areas here to go to, and then you have a group A, a group B. So on the following day, so alternative days, you have these different activities as well. So it's a really full day every day, and it's going to be very exciting. There's some really interesting stuff, a lot of eco stuff as well. So it's, everyone here, of course, has got a different area that they want to look at, and the one that I've noticed is there's an eco talk. I think it's on the second day, and we have the chance to go and visit there as well. So really looking forward to that. So just looking around here, you can see the group. So it's a group of 12, all from Northern Ireland, all different parts of Northern Ireland, and we've got here as well. It's been a really long day, but we're still very excited with all the different activities we're going to see, and anyone from Northern Ireland watching, they should really get into the early years. They're really helpful for anyone, day nurseries, or any sort of childcare activities for advice, and this was one of the programmes they organised, and I'm delighted to get along here this week. So if anyone's watching this on the rebroadcast, just comment what part of the world you're from, and if there's any particular areas that you would like me to sort of have a look at, I'll certainly have a walk around. We haven't had a chance to walk around this building. It's absolutely huge, but if we get a chance tomorrow, after we get introduced to it today, we may get a chance at some stage tomorrow, and I may have more information for you. But so far, it's absolutely fantastic. Hi, this is day 2 of our trip to Reggio Emilia. The first day, there was a lot to take in. Also, anyone interested in childcare, or if you know anyone interested in childcare, tag them in this here, and anyone listening even on the rebroadcast, just type in a comment of where you're listening from. But there's so much to take on board here. This is the first I've been sort of introduced to this, and the location itself, it's a fantastic location here. But there's several contrasts, in the city itself. We're in a sort of a semi, it's a real inner city. You've got heavy industry, you've got a real mix of things, so they haven't put this into the what we would probably put this into a very wealthy area back in Northern Ireland, but here it's put where people are living, and there's lots of, even if I go around here, you can see here, instead of the manicured lawns and stuff, they go for this sort of stuff here. And it's not just an eco thing where let the bees and stuff pollinate. There's a secondary thing which is more important for the kids to learn. So you can have the kids looking at the nature, and they can set up their little benches and stuff, and just take off whatever random things they take off, and just watch how they sort of put it together in patterns and areas like that. One of the big things I would take back is we just sort of realise how sort of risk averse we are back in Northern Ireland, and I think like one of the big things from Loris was to sort of let the kids look at the risk and weigh up the risk, and that's an important thing that the kids learn. sort of the critical thinking, and we sort of remove that from kids in the sort of we sort of think we're doing the best for the kids by protecting them and protecting them and protecting them, but we need to let the kids do some critical thinking. And like I was discussing with one of my colleagues here from Northern Ireland, as you just mentioned about, you know, one of the other agencies had sort of said, you know, not to do the chicks in the incubator and stuff because of the hazards. But you know, when you look at this here, really we want to be looking at the hazards and assess the hazards, you know, and sort of if it's just like toddlers, well, you don't necessarily need to teach the toddlers at that stage, as long as the team members know the importance of hand hygiene, etc. And then when the kids are older, you can sort of teach them the things of, you know, like the risk of E. coli and stuff from animals and all the sorts of things like that. But don't have our kids don't be risk averse, be risk aware, and allow the kids to do some critical thinking, you know, whether it be on balance beams or, you know, climbing a tree or whatever. But that's an area, and like one of the principles here is to sort of focus on the kids' rights and the right to be allowed to be sort of have that critical thinking. And so we don't want to sort of have a totally sterile environment, a totally padded environment where the kids will never get hurt. We want to have an environment where the kids can assess all the time. So that was day one. The background, I suppose, for the oh, hi Heather. Heather's one of her own team back in Northern Ireland, and but I suppose the history to this, after the Second World War, a group of women in the city had used money that they sold off some redundant German tanks after the war, and they wanted to build a school for kids. And Larice Malaguzzi, he said he came on board, and he had some theories of his own, but he went and studied psychology and picked up some more. But he brought back that core thinking of the rights of the child to have the critical thinking in every day life, and it's really fascinating. And there's a lot that I can take back to my own team. But for any sort of whether it be schools, nurseries, any sort of childcare, the thing to take back is to sort of look at it from the child's point of view. You know, what the child can learn from crawling up a balance beam, or you know, handling animal like little chicks and you know, terrapins, all these things that maybe some of our other agencies are saying, you know, stay well clear of that. You know, we need to ask ourselves, you know, is there a good learning tool there? Can we teach our kids something from that? Because don't forget, whenever the kids get older, then they're no longer pampered, but they don't have the knowledge. So we need to focus in on the knowledge. I suppose today is the first real day of, you know, we're just out of another talk there, and today's one was just focusing on, you know, the different learning tools. They were looking at toddlers and projection of light and how they interact, and there was they were looking at, you know, how a child worked with just a rock and a piece of water, and how the child drew on that, and then as it dried up, they realised that where did the dinosaur go, and it was very fascinating. And it's the great thing is anyone can use it because it's not expensive tools, you know, for that sort of learning. You know, a rock, a piece of water, and you know, wooden blocks, and watching them stack up, and you know, using the play resources, you know, like the roll of paper, giant roll of paper, this little toddler rolling it out, and then you know, following the sequences. You know, after that they were putting the animals along the paper, and watch how the even toddlers will always follow the patterns. They will start create patterns, whether it be circles or a straight line, and that's the brain, the cognitive development. So there's lots of different areas, but I'll have to go back into the next lecture here. But it's fascinating, and I'll just give you a wee quick. This is just the outside. There's lots of this centre that I haven't even explored yet, and I'll hope to get a chance to explore today. And then later on, we're going out to another children's centre. Now, all the children's centres, we can't take any photographs or do any videos in that for obvious reasons. The city itself is a fantastic city, the way they've worked everything together here, you know, from all the different agencies come together and work as a group. And there's a real social ethos within the city, which is fantastic. And this city here, it's 17.5% of the population here is from other countries, so it's great to see all the different cultures embracing. The city really has embraced all the different cultures, and it starts off with the kids, and maybe that's something we need to take back to Northern Ireland. So I'll maybe come back out again after the next lecture, but so far it's been absolutely fantastic. And don't forget, if you're watching this in rebroadcast, leave a comment to say where you're watching from, and we'll follow up some more. Cheers. Hi, it's Shane here, and just to prove I'm doing a bit of work, because all of those other videos of me out in the sun, you think I'm having a big holiday here. Today, I'll just give you a quick look around. I can't show you the screen because there's loads of kids on it, but this is the auditorium we're in, and we're just starting to. And we're going to be here most of the day. I think we're visiting the school this evening. But start this morning, it's thinking by design. So a lot of interesting stuff on the go today. But there's so many ideas that's coming back to Oak Tree. It's going to be the BBN is going to see a big revamp, and can't wait to get back to start implementing some of these ideas. It's a really inspiring location here, and they have got some fantastic ideas. Hi, it's Shane here, and I've just done a live feed there for the reggio Emilia approach page, and I thought I'd better link into Oak Tree Nurseries as well. Just like to know, I'm out in Italy here this week, and we're learning about the reggio Emilia approach, and we're going to be taking back loads of this into Oak Tree. There's lots of fascinating areas of development. One of the big things is Loris Malaguzzi, who helped found this centre here. The fact that perhaps in Northern Ireland we're way too risk averse, and he talks about the rights of the children for that critical thinking. So things that where we sort of put all the padding in place, you know, to protect the kids and protect. And the disadvantage, oh hi Kath, the disadvantage of that is we don't allow the kids to do the critical thinking that they're going to need later in life. And you know, the first years of their lives is so important, and to that interaction and learning, whether it be walking along a balance beam or whatever, all these things, even from, and this can happen from babies right up. So you may see some changes to our baby rooms over the next 12 months, and it's just really exciting to be here. And I feel awful for everyone back in Northern Ireland if it's wet back there, because it's lovely and sunny here. And I'm here with 11 others from Northern Ireland, and there's about 500 people from all over the world. There was an interesting one, I'll maybe even put the video up, showing in the first auditorium last night. They've done a simple thing where they got other different people from the different countries to stand up, you know, so it's fascinating, you know, talking to people from all over the world. Sorry, we got cut off there. I had to come back in to get a better signal. So this is within the building itself. There's lots of the building is quite big. I haven't actually explored it completely. So if I just around here, you can see around here. This is the main entrance part. There's auditoriums over there, and there's other areas to explore there. But so over the next 5 days, we're going to be looking at all different areas of learning. There's actually so much you can't cover it all, so I think we're split up into Group A and B, and then you have to choose one of 6 areas of development that you want to go down. And there's so many centres around here as well that we only get the chance to visit a small percentage of them. So it's going to be really exciting, giving us all feedback on what we've learned. But the main thing to remember is be risk aware but not risk averse. So we need to remember the rights for the child to for that critical thinking. So it's a great experience here, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. But I'm missing you, Kath. Don't forget. So we've had very good so far, and I'll just keep you up to date as we go along. Everyone's going back into the next lecture, so we're going to head back. So chat to you. Hi, it's Shane here again, and we're just out of the last lecture of today, and if I can just show you, there's 500 of us heading down, and heading over to the bus station now, and we're going to be brought to my school is Iran, and so I'm looking forward to that. Now, we can't use the videos or anything over there, but I'll do a podcast, and we can put it up on the page whenever I get back. But it's really exciting, and there's lots of new stuff that we can implement when I get back. So much to do in so little time, but thoroughly enjoying it here. Loving the weather as well. It's all really good. Hope you're having fun back in the Irish weather there. So, what do you see? There's quite a lot of schools, and there's quite a lot of people going to the different places. So, as you can see, these are all the buses just heading to the different schools. So my job now is to find my bus before it leaves without me. So having a great time here. Hi, this is day 2 of the trip, and we're just out of the second lecture, and I'm with the Northern Ireland. There's 12 of us from Northern Ireland here, and we're just talking about all the different things that we've picked up. It doesn't matter how long you've been in childcare, there's always something new to learn. And the different techniques, I know around the table here, one of them was obviously the mirrors, the use of mirrors this is from babies right up. So just focusing in on the babies and toddlers, the sort of what they can do and how the sort of research that they're carrying out all the time with just something as simple as mirror and light, and from the teacher's point of view to sort of maybe even create a game, or let them as a small group, let them create the game themselves of using the mirror to reflect the light to maybe hit a drawing that they've already done on the wall, and just using the light in general, bringing a sheet out to the garden and looking at the shadows. We watched a short video, and it showed one of the toddlers rolling out a big sheet of paper that was maybe 6 inches wide, and after that the next process was another child started to put the animals along the sheet of paper because they've seen the pattern, and then they looked at how the light made a shadow from the animals itself. So there's a whole journey of learning for the kids. So there's just another one area that we've picked up, and maybe later on we can get a group discussion. But even the feedback, setting up a group discussion when you're out here, doesn't matter whether it be a group that you came with or just when you're having lunch. You can sort of see the different viewpoints and some of the things that you may have missed during the lecture as well. So fantastic stuff and really exciting. And I'm sure lots of stuff to bring back to our own different environments and improve the environment, and just keep in mind that the environment is another teacher for the kids, and the kids are always researching everything they do. So great stuff, and very exciting. Hi, anyone interested in reggio? This is going to be really interesting. We're really fortunate enough to get in. The course is split up into separate pieces, but this is ray of light, and I just walk you around. I just have to be careful because we have to avoid any photos of kids on the wall. But this is within the main Malaguzzi building, and there's lots of different sections, and even within this one ray of light there's 5 different zones. So we're just going to do a quick walkthrough, and I thought I would bring you around. So I'll just give you a quick round of the setup of the building here. So it's a really light, airy building, and we're going to walk down this area here. There's about 30 of us in this small group, and we're just getting a walk through. One of the first things is that is almost like a sensory. It's like a material. These light panels. And it's designed to give you different feelings when you're walking through the it's like a small corridor. So just.
How do you feel here? Do you feel love?
Yeah, I feel nice and warm.
It is heat coming off it. Yeah. Yeah, it's just some like a material, like a soft material. Yeah. But is that my imagination or is that heat?
It's heat. I kind of feel that heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just going to take photographic notes this time.
You can watch the video.
Don't want to get brain cramp.
So in my small group we have some of the ladies from the Northern Ireland group, and we have Tricia from Australia. So it's a group of 5 within the group of 30. And,
I was like,
go on.
you can see me.
So you can see hanging down. So we've got, it's like a fishing line hanging down, and these are like a wax paper, and you've got the different lights hitting the paper. So it's really simple stuff. It's really effective on the. So you actually have to sort of walk around to avoid them. So it probably looks better when you're looking back. So now we're coming up into a much bigger building. You can see the tools for doing the different coloured lights, and they're actually recycled products, which is really interesting. There's actually so much around here, even above here. We've got the material hanging from the ceiling. We have a light panel here with curved mirror.
This is like a stage, and you can also interact with your body.
Anche delle ombre.
And shadows. The next part.
So these are the different zones.
With water in order to investigate refraction.
Qui c'è proprio andare alla ricerca dell'arcobaleno, che non è una cosa.
So, how to research rainbow in this with these materials.
E queste 2 zone, questa e l'altra che avete.
So this is the introduction into physics. So they can look at angles, light refraction.
So under you and here you have 2 other places. This one is an analog one, and this is the digital one.
Dove là le luci possono essere organizzate manualmente.
So you can regulate light manually on this table. And here
Un sistema digitale che
un programma che adesso si sta, un prototipo, si sta un software, un prototipo che si c'è uno studio con la Boston University, la Lego Foundation e penso che un'altra istituzione che adesso non mi ricordo, e comunque hanno chiesto a Reggio Children di partecipare per vedere il funzionamento, se come va, come no, per migliorarlo.
So it is a research on a special software.
Yeah, di coding, programmazione.
A coding software.
Dove puoi decidere per esempio il colore delle luci, il movimento che
So through this software you can decide the colors and also how the light can move. So it is an experiment made in collaboration with other universities and
Boston University and Lego Foundation.
And Lego Foundation. So they ask Reggio Children to check to test this new
Light Play.
Light
Però non
Play
esiste, non si vende ancora. Non è un prototipo, lo stanno
is a prototype at the moment. Light Play is the name, and is it an app or a software which is at the moment tested by this Boston University, Lego Foundation, and also Reggio Children.
Ci sono scuole, rete, che stanno organizzandosi su questo sistema e stanno esplorandolo per vederne il potenziale, ma per vederne anche qualche sviluppo.
And some schools of Reggio Emilia are working on this system in order to have some investigation on it, but also to understand the potential development of it.
Dopo, chi vuole farlo,
So,
nel senso che è bello anche scoprirlo.
So at the moment we will give you no more information because you are the children today, so you have to discover or to investigate how it works.
Vale per questo, ma vale anche per tutte le installazioni.
And what I
vale di informazioni
so please think as children in all corners that you live inside the atelier.
Una cosa da dire è che i materiali che sono sui tavoli sono stati precisi.
So another information, the material who are on the tables are available for everyone. So also another group can take perhaps some materials from a table of another group.
Un'altra cosa che possiamo aggiungere relativamente ai materiali, a parte alcune tecnologie, sono di bassissimo costo, i materiali recuperati, i materiali di
All materials that you see, it is a recycled material, so at a very low cost.
See the projector on the floor here? And it's projecting up. These are their digital tools that they were using. So through the light rebounds, you can achieve to switch on a sensor. But as you say, it is your task today to understand how they work and how you can switch on the sensor. It's quite busy there, so I'll maybe walk through that. There's still so much here to show around. So, they use like different backgrounds. Here you can see this one is paper, and this one is like a transparent material. So you've got different layers going through to let the kids show. If on this layer here is different to what happens here. And two projectors there, and you have got all of these things to put on the projector. And we have another large light box here. And then we've got other resources here. So there's huge learning potential. So we'll walk around again just to see if some more is filtered through. Yeah. Let's go back to this one. So this is just a square perspex rod. So let's see what happens when it hits the water. This is just actually a glass burr on a timber back, and then you have the lights shining down there. So we can see this here. So there's actually you've got a light source here and another light source here, and it's the effect of, if you look at these are all wheels, so it'll be up to the kids to just research on how turning this will reflect back on the mirror, and there's all sorts of games that we play about how to get it right down to the bottom. And this looks very interesting. We've got lots of mirrors, different coloured mirrors. Using the lenses, these are just recycled lenses from the trailer. We've got the recycled sweet box. And then we have the different lights hanging on the bench. Moving back to here, we have again mirrors is a big so we've got the different backgrounds. We've got the white backgrounds and the black backgrounds, and just see the effect of light. So you've got like these little torches here. So I assume and you can see the reflection on the floor, how it moves, etc. So really simple tools, really good ideas for the kids. Hi, it's Shane here again, and I'm just going to give you a walk through here. This morning we were in the Ray of Light. I'll just give you a quick walk through. You can really see this. We've done a video on our other Facebook page, the reggio approach. And we had, just quickly, this is just, there's actually heat coming off these as well. So it gives the kids a different sense when they're walking through. We had these structures, so it's a lot of cheap materials, but with a lot of effect. And then we had loads of times we were like kids playing today. So we have these materials here, and we were just looking at the effects of the light, etc. And we were using projectors, we were using the light refraction, how we get the rainbows, and we were using the wee, I think that's a Pi computer, I'm not sure, but you can get it programmed to move the motors and affect the screen. This was another brilliant one where you had the mirrors and you were moving the light around. all the different materials with the mirrors again. We have, see the effects on both sides of materials. We've got effect on the background being corrugated and curved. And I'm doing this really quick because I want to try and get around the whole building. If you want a detailed one of this in here, we've got the ultraviolet lights there, and then the effect on different colours and the effect on the paper. And here we had the effect on the different colours, how it affected these light sensitive devices here. This is the phosphor paper, and whenever, well, you can see on the other video I've done, we also had the glasses for making the different tunes, and now I'm going to explore into areas that I haven't actually seen myself. So the other group, there's lots of different groups today. One of the other groups was using the clays. So we have the clays here, and the kids are given like professional tools. These with the different knives, magnifying glass. And these are some of the things that the kids made. How did you get on today?
Good, thanks. This is mine. This is mine.
Oh, love it. I think that was the best one.
I need the light to come on too. Oh, that's funny. It's funny. Hi, what do you do?
The ray of light in there.
Oh, what was
brilliant.
that like?
Oh, yeah, amazing. Yeah, there's a bit where they have the phosphor paper, and whenever you put like a black image on it and shine the light on it, and then take away the black piece of paper, it leaves the image there for a period of time. Brilliant. I've done a video of it.
God, you just can't even.
Yeah. It's, and the dark rooms were brilliant as well. You know, with ultraviolet light.
Oh my God. Have you been upstairs?
No.
Everything's beautiful up there.
Yeah. So this is a really open space here.
Everything's just.
And this is one of the areas of the reggio thing where you have different levels, so the kids can actually see down. So this is the natural products, and looking at the different stages. So they would use these and examine them and paint them. And, just that teaches them the life cycle of life, you know, rather than just picking one particular moment. This is the rock. We had talked about this, you know, using the drawn with water, you know, with your finger. And here is a better example of the life cycle of life. So you have the photos. The kids may be taking the photos, or they might bring these out every so often. And they just, at the different stages, they would bring them out and they would draw them or talk about them. And it gives a good reflection of the cycle of life. It's just like a giant gallery here. So I'm not even sure what topic or what group this was. So in this one, we had talked earlier on this morning about the different materials to make paint. So we can see here what they have used. So instead of using paint, they have used different materials to create their own paint. And then just using simple camera and microscope, like the computer, they can examine different materials and mini beasts, etc. One of the most amazing things about everything we've seen so far is how low cost and effective it can be. they have little lenses for...
Yeah, just observing them.
Yeah.
Are kind of a microscopic lenses.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm getting messages through here to go back and meet up again, so I'm going to increase the speed here. So that you can see the way they use so much natural materials, and or even just one piece of natural material, how it can change. But they would put maybe the flower as it's looking beautiful, then how it decays, and they'll examine that and just research, where the teacher would sit back and just evaluate the research that the kids are doing amongst themselves. It's real light and airy, open. You can see the natural light coming through there, and you're looking down on the floor as well. So they go into ceramics. They don't believe there's an age restriction on the learning process. So the method would be very organic. You know, they would get the kids to sort of. They wouldn't tell the kids what colours to use, what to paint. It's up to the kids and what their view of what the different colours would mean. I love the table. This is again using their natural recycled products. So we have another light box here as well. So it's a really brilliant environment. Okay, I'm going to have to cut it short because we have another meeting to get to, but I'll maybe be on later on today.